Wonderful.
Barbara
Okay,
from Florida.
another Floridian. There we go. Perfect. Okay, well, usually I like to throw the mute button on here just because when people come in, it sometimes makes a little bit of background noise, and we like to be able to hear each and every word of the speaker that we have coming in now. So I am going to mute everybody here so we can get started. I love to hear how many different people come on here and all these different countries. And what's fun about it is that I know the people that are on here, you are all partners, different areas of the world, and yet we are all here on the same mission. We are on the same vision of where we want to go with this and all the people that we want to help with this. And the person that's coming on today is one of my absolute favorite speakers. I love to learn from him. I like to hear what he has to say each and every time. And we're going to talk about exactly what is making Zinzino unique in the aspect of everybody needs this, and we just need to get the word out and what we're doing differently in regards to our customer journey here. So let's bring him on here, the president of North American Operations, Mr. Art Jonak. Hello,
Hey,
Art.
Carla, I'm going to say we're back. Right? So it's great to see so many of you. I'm looking at all the smiling faces and Arlo and Eve and Ricardo, and it's just amazing. Glenn, nice to see you, my fellow Texan right there. Um, and Carla has, some of you may not know this, but Carla has run a call, a Zoom call every Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time for years. For years, she ran a call and she would put it on Zoom and put the recording on Facebook. And she didn't do this just for her organization. She stepped up and said, you know what? The company needs to grow. The information needs to be shared. And she opened it up to everybody in Zinzino globally. And she did it at 11 a.m., so it would be good for Florida time and Texas time and California time, but also for European time. And there were times where we would be doing events together and she would do her segment, and then I would get on the stage and she'd run out of the room, grabbing her laptop, and she would start doing the Zoom call while the event was going. And she was able to grow the muscles of interviewing people. She had to every week find somebody to interview, pick their brains, prepare for that interview. So even though the calls are typically, 30 to 60 minutes long, the amount of effort and work that's put into them is a couple of hours each call. It's like doing a podcast, right? And now Carla got married. She changed her name from Carla to Carla Musca. Life's getting exciting. And, we talk about inspired change in life. And so these amazing changes are happening to her. And Saturdays became very valuable to her. And then, of course, we do events on Saturdays. So she said, all right, I'm going to have to reconsider doing these Zooms. So we had some powwows about it, going back and forth. But her passion is to share. So she said, what if I change the time? So now it's going to be every day, every week, right, Carla? Wednesday, noon Eastern Standard Time, 11 Central Standard Time. For those of you in Europe, you're going to figure it out. It's at this time. Look at your clock, and that's the time to put it in there. And Carla's committed to continuing this amazing tradition that she's done. And she won the Heart of Zinzino Award at the annual event. It was in part because of who she is, what she's given, the work that she's done on the stage, always giving forward. And a small part of that was these calls. So I want to just lead off by saying, Carla, thank you for throwing your heart over the fence for all these years as a founding member of Zinzino in North America for going on 10 years, for opening up your heart and your gifts to everybody in Zinzino, not just your team. And now finding a new times and place to host these very valuable Zooms, because I get a lot out of them. I know many people do. and you bring forward the connections that you have in Zinzino, and you convince them to come and share their best practices with everybody else. So let's just give Carla a big gratitude heart symbol. There we go. Um, and today's the first one from the new start, but it's from a long tradition. So I just wanted to put that into perspective for everybody.
Well, thank you, Art. I'd have to say that I've always felt that we are one team, whether it's my downline or somebody else, the way we have such an important mission here, globally, with a global issue. That's a problem that we all can fix. And so I have felt that I kind of adopted a lot of the people that were coming on, and the Zinzino family feeling doesn't just mean your team. It is everybody in all of Zinzino. So I love that we can do this, and so many people coming on to share things. And I think that's one way that I grew too, because it was the things I want to know. And when I'm interviewing somebody, it's what I want to ask. And people say, "Oh, that's what I would have wanted to ask." So I absolutely love doing these, because I grow, and I'm hoping that it is. I'm always working at doing value to absolutely everybody. But this year, Art. Uh, this year we're going to be growing like exponentially, totally different way to go. It is going to a real whole nother level. And so I think it's important to get all these great stories in, and best practices from so many people, because we know it's not just doing the work, it's also doing the mind shift, the personal development, and it's rowing both oars. Because if you're just doing the personal development, your boat's going to be going in circles. And the same thing if you're just out there plugging away and not growing, you need both of them. And if you want to just grow faster, you just do both of them more. So there can't be too many things going on too. We just need to make sure we're doing both. And I'm going to work at continuing doing some great content. We've got even more great leaders, a lot of them even on this call. I'm like, I gotta talk to them. I gotta talk to them. I need to interview that person too.
Yes.
But
I'm
today,
seeing I'm seeing a lot of interviews that can happen on this call in the future.
but
Uh,
thank you for coming on, because you have made a whole difference in North America. And I know you are so busy right now, but we've got so much to share and so much to learn. And yet, because that's what's going to make that exponential growth, flipping that curve and going up the way it is. No, we've got a lot going on right now. I think we're number one right here last month. So I'm giving it over to you to talk about the topic of this growth and working on even more customers. Helping a lot of people, Art.
yeah, we are. We're helping an amazing amount of people. And this morning was busy. I started at 5:30 a.m. and it's been Zooms nonstop. Excited to be on this Zoom here. And at the end of this Zoom, I'm getting in my car and I'm visiting three, maybe four hotels, in-person site visits. We've narrowed it down from a large list of hotels to the ones that may be the best option for a leader school in North America. So our target is either June, forget July, June 6th and 7th, or June 7th and 8th. So it's either going to be a Friday, Saturday or a Saturday, Sunday. It will be Houston, Texas, two airports, centrally located, affordable. So hopefully by the end of this week, maybe sooner, before the end of this week, we'll start doing the promotions for that as I lock down the hotel later today. So that's from 1 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. I'm doing site visits on the final list of hotels, and we're excited about that. We just did 2 days in the US of what we call a Diamond Summit, right? And Orion Sala went from spending time with 650 directors in Thailand, flew to Europe, and then flew to the United States to do a 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. day one with the Latino community of diamonds. We had over 35 diamonds and above at that get together. The next day was the English version. We had over 50 diamonds and above at that. And there's just something special that happens when you can spend more than 7 hours with individuals, right? So if he comes into an event, he may be doing the opening where the microphones are still getting fixed. And if he's doing the closing, there's some people that might have to leave for things, which is great. But spending 7 to 10 to 12 hours together just hits at a different level. So that was an amazing, well, event, and everybody that attended, the feedback has been great. And I'm not sharing that with you because maybe you weren't able to attend. I'm sharing that with you because if you know somebody who went to the Diamond Leadership Summit, ask them how it was for them, and then use that as fuel to make sure that you're at leader school, right? So we're going to do our best to get Orion to come out to leader school. He's got a busy, busy month that month already. Um, but it's going to be an amazing event. We're going to have amazing presenters, amazing content. And it should, the goal is put you 6 months ahead, right? If you come to that event, spend 2 days together in this community, in togetherness. Zooms are great, but being together in person is just hits at a different level and put you at those 6 months ahead. And those 6 months right now inside Zinzino, man, I think 5 years from now, Carla, we're going to be looking back. Brad's going to be looking back. Arlo's going to be looking back. Sebastian. I see Patrick here, who's been building, and he's got a new executive down in Mexico. She's amazing. And we're going to look back and say, man, those months in 2025, those were pivotal months. Those were months where people grabbed market share and were able to hold on to it. Um, so the numbers are coming out for March tomorrow. I know what the numbers are. I can't share them because we're a publicly traded company, but I think people are going to be quite impressed. March was an incredible month. In the United States, we sponsored almost 1,100 new partners, and that's a record for the United States. We've never gotten close to 1,000 new partners. Now, it is an ECBX month. I get it. It was an incredible close. There's some backdating still happening till a few hours from now, and there'll be more rank advancements. And the United States market can handle 10,000 new partners a month easily. That wouldn't stretch the US market at all, like zero. It wouldn't be an extraordinary thing where we're all of a sudden going to have to taper down from that number. There are companies inside of our space that are doing 1 billion plus a year in sales, and they're sponsoring 10,000 a month consistently for years, some of them higher than that. So our standard can't be the past. It has to be where are we going? And one of the goals in the United States is to get, in Canada and Mexico, is to get 1 million tests done as quickly as we can. We want to move the needle on public health. And I truly believe that that's exactly what we're going to do. And to get to 1 million tests a month, we need to be enrolling around 5,000 partners a month. So that's how the math works out. So the ambitions are big. The goals are big. You're going to see the percentage growth of the US market and globally the growth tomorrow as numbers are released. Let me tell you something. The Germany region, which includes like Austria and Switzerland, they're just crushing, right? We're not even close to being number one compared to that entire region combined, right? But we want to, of course, beat that region. But we want to beat it because they're doing their best and we're doing our best. We don't want to beat them because their sales are declining, and they're not, right? They're growing. So they're showing what's possible. They're showing what it looks like when a country gets to 0.4 or 0.5% of the entire population tested. The future here is incredible. The day before we did the leadership Diamond Summit, I was in Dallas with Orion Sala and Miguel and Renzo. And we attended this event that was an event for the entire profession of direct selling. And they have these awards there. And that night, Zinzino was awarded the 44th largest direct selling company in the world, number 44. And I think about where Zinzino came from, and it's extraordinary. It's awesome. Now, are we going to be happy at 44 for next year? No, no, no. Right? If you know Orion and the engine that he has and the drive that he has, and those of you that were at the Diamond Summit and those of you that were on the director trip, you know that he and Hilda, they just pull everybody forward, right? It's just an incredible visionary couple that they are. So we want to go higher. And sitting in front of us was a CEO of a company that does $3 billion in sales. 3 billion with a B. These are big numbers. And we respect him. We applaud his progress. It's not easy to get done what he's done, but we also use it as fire. right? We use it as fire to say, here's where we're going to go. And in that process, many people are going to do so well in their health and their finances. And then Orion told me, he said, what's interesting is maybe we're 44 globally in the world right now in direct selling, but we're in Dallas, Texas. And if we took the top 1,000 companies in Dallas, we may not even make the top 1,000 list, right? Just to put it into perspective, the goal isn't just the greatest inside the space of direct selling. The goal is to say, hey, there's companies that came out of Scandinavia, IKEA, Spotify, Zinzino, right? It's to create a global brand using the distribution model of direct selling, but we're just thinking of ourselves very differently. And part of that is customers, right? I want to just chat about that, the how and the why behind customers. Now, Orion and Hilda received a Bravo Leadership Award at this generic event for all the different direct selling companies. And very few people receive the Bravo Leadership Award under the age of 50, right? And they're both still not 50 yet, and they're hungrier than ever. And his speech was phenomenal. It edified the profession. It edified all the partners. It edified his wife because she wasn't there, Hilda. So when you see these awards, number 44 or these Bravo Awards, yes, it's part because of the founders driving the company, but it's a huge part, the majority part, because of y'all, right? Everybody here on this Zoom. Some of you I know are so deeply committed. Some of you have done so many Zooms with at all times of the day and night over the years. We're friends, we're family, we're on a mission together. So I want to congratulate all of you for contributing to the success of the company. And the beautiful part of this is, unlike Netflix with Reed Hastings, the CEO, who also creates subscriptions. And there's a lot of shows I like on Netflix, and I tell my friends about them. But he's never once said, "Hey, Art, here's a thank you card for building my company's Zinzino, Netflix with subscriptions." He's never sent me a thing that says, "Hey, here's a free month of Netflix because you've brought 200 customers my way." He's never once been willing to share in the revenue of the subscriptions that I bring him. And I think that's a little bit greedy. And I've even met the guy twice. So here at Zinzino, you can say, hey, I helped the company grow and I was part of that growth, and I'm getting rewarded for every subscription that I personally create and every subscription that my team creates. And I am a owner of the company. So if you end up buying a share or two shares, or you reach the top of the ranks where they give you 300,000 and then 500,000 and then $1 million worth of shares, you become ownership. And that's very different from everything else that exists out there. And to me, it's so obviously the right answer. Like, why would you build a company any other way? It just doesn't make sense, especially for something that needs to be shared. And Orion was given 17 minutes, like everybody else at that event, to give a talk, the ones that were asked to speak. And the topic of his speech to this audience of C-suite executives of, I don't know, 60 different network marketing companies, direct selling companies, was direct selling without selling? Question mark. And you all know what the topic is because you know Orion's passion and Zinzino's passion that we have to be customer driven, we have to be customer focused, we have to be customer led. And he covered a number of topics. At one point, he put 10 people up on stage, and I walked up there with Richard Brook to volunteer to be one of them. And he split the 10 into two groups. On one side, he had two people, and the other side, he had eight people. And then he looked at the audience of all these executives and direct selling, and he said, I want you to think about how the outside world looks at us. If those eight people were all partners, distributors, consultants, whatever they call them for their specific companies, and these two are just our customers, and this has been around for a year, and it's taken these eight distributors, partners, a year to get two customers, what does that look like from the outside world? Why does the outside world, the media, or anybody else say, that just doesn't feel right? Something's wrong with that model. And you could hear a pin drop, right, in the audience at that moment. And he said, what needs to be, it needs to be the reverse, eight customers for every two partner or higher. And then when the outside world looks at that, they go, oh, that's a great business model. That makes complete sense. So when you see Zinzino being so strong and adamant, and then having parts of our pay plan specific to the customer part, it's because we want to have a long-term business. Now, at the Diamond Retreat, we had these amazing journals that everybody got with the 20 on the front. And that's because this year is the 20th anniversary of Zinzino. So Zinzino's already proven their mettle, their resilience, their ability to go through low interest rate environments and COVID and now high interest rate environments. They're solid. And they want to make sure that it's solid for 20 more years and 20 years after that and 20 years after that. And Orion at the Diamond Leadership Summit, he shared his goals, his 20-year goal, 50-year goal, 100-year goal. He even shared his 500-year goal. Now, I don't have time to go into how that works, but if you know somebody that went to the Diamond Leadership Summit, ask them, how does Orion create a 500-year goal, right? So we want to have that foundation and we want to be that example to the world. Number two, inside of the profession of direct selling, there's this notion around what some people call residual income or passive income, what I call break the zero income, right? You want to not have to start from zero every single month financially. You want to do the work right one time and then start getting paid again and again and again for a long time on the work that you did. And that's part of the magic of buying your time back. And Orion's very strict and strong about this message. He says, if you are working with partners who are on auto ship, you don't have a residual break to zero income. Why? Because your partners should be getting their balance oil for free, right? So if you've successfully worked with your partner, they should be Q team or X team, which gives them their product for free. So your partner's order shouldn't be part of your residual income, right? The residual income comes from the customer base. And the profession is still learning that, but Zinzino's not having to learn that. They understand that. Over 90% of every order that leaves the Kentucky warehouse of Zinzino goes to a person who's never given a social security number or a tax ID number to anybody, right? They're just customers. They're happy getting the product. That's all they want. And if there's somebody's baby was crying on a Zoom or so forth, that doesn't affect customers, right? That's partners. We get all this other stuff. But customers just want the product delivered. They want the product to work, and we know the product works. And I could go on for a long time about why we have a strong customer model. It's good for the regulatory environment in many, many countries, including the United States. And it's a solid business model. So as your business grows, you're going to have your volume here, which is the customer orders. And then there's going to be a little bit of a higher volume because that includes your partner growth. And then if there's some negative news that happens at a company, there's always something that happens at some point. Sometimes your volume dips, and in Zinzino, it dips down to the existing customer volume, right? Because customers don't care about all the drama stuff. They just want the product. But if a company has a very low customer volume and most of that is above it is based on recruiting, then when there's a dip, it dips all the way down to that existing customer volume. And that really hurts when your check drops 50%, 80%. You don't want that. You want a solid, long-term, break the zero income that's built on a customer base. Now, I could give a 90-minute presentation on why customers, but let's look at how Zinzino is structured to make sure that we build a strong customer base. Before I go into that, just one other part, and that this is a little bit of a historical context, is that I've been in this profession in the field for 30 plus years. It's a long time. And when we started in the profession, we didn't have this amazing technology of Zooms. We didn't have the technology of free phone calls. We didn't have the technology of being able to order products online. We couldn't see our back offices. If I wanted to see my genealogy, my downline, it was sent to me in boxes by FedEx of dot matrix printed paper. Yeah, I'm dating myself. I sound like a dinosaur. I get it. But here's the thing. On those dot matrix pieces of paper, you would have the name of the distributor. They wouldn't even show us customers because those weren't real. That didn't exist. And then you would see the volume that distributor created, that partner created. And if the minimum to get your check was $80, you would either see an 80 next to their name or a zero. Either they're trying or they're not trying, right? And so it was very much based on recruiting. That's all we had. We couldn't drop ship product to people. And then technology allowed us to start building customers. The dream is that as you look at each partner, that the volume between their orders and their orders of all their customers is more than the minimum requirement. So that it's you see a 200 and a 269 and a 346 and a 1092 and you see all these different numbers. And what does that mean? It means that you don't have to build an organization as big to create the same amount of volume. Right? So when Zinzino is doing $1 billion a year in sales, and I say when because I truly in my heart we're going to get there, and we have an annual convention, a global convention, typically you'd probably have to have 60,000 people there if you were a traditional direct selling company. And Zinzino won't have to have 60,000 people because if we have 30,000, the volume that they represent, because there's so many customers outside of that building, is going to still create $1 billion in sales. And the beautiful part of it that a very high percentage of everybody in that building, except for the ones that are new, will be earning an income. And this changes things. This is so different than what's traditionally known as. And this is why we believe we're reinventing the space in many ways. And we hope other direct selling companies follow suit because it'll just strengthen the reputation of our profession. So what do we see in Zinzino? When you look at your genealogy, your back office, you'll see that the average partner doesn't have a minimum of 20 credits, right? They're doing 40 credits, 47 credits, 96 credits, 122 credits. And that's because customers are loving the products, right? So let's take a look. And I don't know, Carla, if you've given me share permissions here, but let me go
I
to,
did.
okay, beautiful. Then I've got to find this. All right, here we go. So I created these slides about a month ago, and then I kind of fine-tuned them for today. And I just want to step you through the how behind the why. So we covered the why a little bit, why customers. And again, we could go much deeper on this because it just hits on so many levels. But when you get started with Zinzino, we recommend that you pick a pack, right? Pick a partner kit, ultimate partner kit, pick one of the packs. Well, the ultimate partner kit provides the greatest value. You get the best discount on the products. And the ultimate partner kit, of course, comes with the chance to get a refund on that kit. So as long as you have a Z for free in place, that's your partner auto ship. And then you are a team by the 12th month, then you can get a full refund on that ultimate partner kit in month 13. And we'll talk about what a team is required. And by the way, we added a beauty ultimate partner kit into the back office last Friday. I mean, into the offering. So now there is a beauty partner kit that has a mix of the beautiful, where is it? I've got all these products on my desk right now. The boost, right? And balance oil. So if you take the boost and you take the balance oil, let me tell you, your skin's going to start looking even more amazing. So we know when you're on the balance oil, the skin looks great. When people come to convention, they go, look at all. Why does everybody's skin look so good? It's the balance oil. Now you add on to that the collagen boost. Watch what's going to start happening in the US because we just started getting this product now full time. And then just keep in mind that all what you see happening on your face and your back of your hands and all this with the collagen and the balance oil, that's happening on the inside of your body as well, but you just don't see it, right? So all the organs and all that stuff is getting nicer and softer and more supple and everything. So the inside is getting more beautiful, even though we can't see it. So you set up your Z for free. The Z for free is your monthly balance oil that you've committed to, or Zervita, right? You can do a Zervita Zeal or a balance oil. And you pay the price plus $20 of the price of the balance oil. Now, why do we pay an extra 20? Why does a partner have to pay $20 more than a customer? Well, they're paying a little bit extra because number one, it carries 10 credits, which is also very powerful as opposed to 4. Number two, you're going to get a free test if you're doing a balance product every 4 months. So now you're going to be able to test every 4 months yourself to see that the product's working, build your testimonial, or use that test to go create a customer, right? It gives you access to the landing pages and it gives you access to the Go Core, which is a drive time university. And as I'll show you, you're going to very quickly be able to get that for free, right? So initially you might put the balance oil regular on your auto ship, which will get you in balance perfectly fine. And then we have the balance oil premium, which is, just a whole lot more powerful because it's got the super high end quality olive oil in there. Like we could spend 30 minutes on that. And once you qualify for your Z for free and it's free, replace the regular with the premium. It's free, right? So you might as well start taking the premium. And then you don't have to learn the whole pay plan. You don't have to memorize all the different team commissions and cabs. You simply have to focus in on what's the next step in the fast start that I'm going to go achieve. Okay. And 2 steps of the 4 steps of the fast start are tied to customers. Now, why are they tied to customers? Because we're a customer culture, right? If you want true, real, ongoing break to zero income, it has to be built on customers. Like that's a core fundamental belief that we have. So our customer program in the United States, Canada, we have something called subscribe and save, right? So if you decide to agree to an auto ship, a subscription is what we call it, just like Netflix has a subscription. That's why we want to be the Netflix of nutrition, right? You get a 30% instant discount on your products. So you might as well have every customer sign up with a subscription. In the United States and Canada, there is no 6-month commitment. You can cancel at any time. Now there's a $9.95 shipping in the United States, and you get that back in Zenocash. So you can start accruing Zenocash over time that your customers can then redeem for a Zenoshine, or maybe they're going to redeem it for a Viva, or maybe you've been ranting about the Zenogene, or maybe you've been talking about the Ficosci, right? And so they can try a new product. Why do we do that? Well, because we want the customer to be able to try more products. And maybe they'll fall in love with the product that they try. They add it to their subscription. And now the average order per your customer is going up, right? And if that happens within your entire organization, your income starts to rise exponentially because over time, more and more of your customers may start on the Zeal or maybe they start on the balance oil. And then they add the xenobiotic, which is just, like I can't even imagine living without the xenobiotic. Get that gut into balance. And then they add the extend because they want to be on the health protocol. And now all of a sudden, the average order in your team maybe goes from $43 to $70 or $100 per customer. And then you have 10 of those, that's $1,000 per for just in customer volume. So the circle for a partner is $1,000 versus in the old days, and still for a lot of direct selling companies, which just do the minimum to get their check. And then the Zenocash gets even better in month 7. So once they're on subscription for 6 months, here's an additional incentive. If their order is $100, they get $10 more in Zenocash. This starts to add up. So be proactive with your customers and encouraging them what to get with their Zenocash. Let them know the Zenocash is there. They need to log in. Show them how they can have it shipped with their next subscription so they don't even have to pay shipping for what they redeem with the Zenocash. And then a little birdie told me on something that we've been pushing for a long time that within the next 90 days, probably sooner, customers will be able to modify their auto ship themselves in their own back office. So for those of you that have been with us, I know probably every day I get somebody that says, hey, I'm new in Zinzino. Don't you think it would be a good idea to have your customers be able to update their auto ships? Yes, I do believe that. I've believed that for a long time. And now we're getting to the point where IT is able to do that for us. So great news. And you can continue to ask me and support, but it's being worked on and it's going to get done. So what does this look like? Inside of the Zinzino pay plan, there are really 2 separate pay plans. One is the journey on the customer side, and one is the journey on the partner side. And the reason we have it as 2 separate parts is because in many countries, the regulation basically says, can you go make money just by getting customers? And if you can't profoundly and clearly and directly say yes to that, there may be a suspicion around your company. So in Zinzino, we have a customer plan that you can go up the ladder of that customer plan without sponsoring a single partner. And then there's a partner plan that involves creating partners who do what? Go up the customer plan and create customers. So today I want to just cover the customer side of that plan. And the first part of that is what we call Q team qualification. Now the Q stands for qualified team. So what do you need to do to get to Q team? You need 4 customer points. That's basically 4 products, right, that are done on subscription that create a total of 20 credits for all for those products. So in some cases, you might have 4 collagens. No problem. Now you're at 20 credits already. Or you might have 4 zeals. You're already at 20 credits. Or you might have 4 balance oils, but that's 16 because there's only 4 credits for the balance oil. So you're going to need a fifth one, right? So we have to have both in place. And some people go, well, why can't we just do customer points and not the credit requirement? Because we have some products like Xenoshine that have a very low credit. And if the requirement was only get 4 customer points and people started to game the system and just get a whole bunch of Xenoshines only, the company would be overpaying in the pay plan, right? Does that make sense, Carla? Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, perfect. So that's Q team. And what are the rewards for going Q team? Well, number one, in the first, you're commission qualified. So you've got to be Q team to get access to all the bonuses on the partner plan and the customer plan, right? Number two, you get a cash bonus of 10% on all new subscriptions, customer subscriptions that you sign up. So if somebody gets the $115 test and balance oil combo, you're going to get 10% of that. So you can get over $10 just for helping them get started. And then at Q Team, you can get free product in the first few months of your journey, right? So when you're in the first 120 days of your Fast Start program, you're going to be able to get your balance oil, for example, completely free. And in this case, I recommend balance oil premium, right? Take the company for all it's giving. Or you can get your Zeal for free. Those are the 2 products. After your 5th month, you're going to have to be X team qualified to continue to get that product. But you've got 4 months to get there. So what is X team? X team is the Roman numeral X. So for those of you that are into Romans, and almost every guy on this call thinks about Romans more than you might want to admit. I think about Romans all the time. X team basically means we have to have 10 customer points for a total of 50 personal credits. And at X team, you're fully qualified, commission qualified. So you have access to the entire pay plan. You continue to get the cash bonus of 10% on all your new customer subscriptions. Now you're fully qualified for your free product every single month. You just pay tax and shipping. I mean, what's better than balance oil? Free balance oil, right? What's better than Zeal? Free Zeal. You're also now ECB qualified. Now, ECB is like, uh-oh, there's some weird term here. ECB means enrollment credit bonus. What that means is that when you sign up a new customer on subscription, or somebody in your team signs up a customer on subscription, let's say that product carried 4 credits. Well, when you're ECB qualified because you're X team, you're going to get double that, 8 credits for every balance oil that's new in your team. And that starts to really add up. So at X team, you may already have a few partners on your team. So you might as well double up on all that new enrollment volume. Also, if somebody signs up, for example, a new partner with an Ultimate Partner Kit, you're doubling up the credits on that entire Ultimate Partner Kit. So instead of 150 credits, it's going to carry 300 credits. So the incentive to get to X team is really strong. And in addition to that, you get $50 every month in Z rewards. Now, just to be very clear, X team doesn't mean you have to go get 10 individuals to order product. It's 10 products total, right? 10 customer points. So if somebody's ordering the health protocol, that's three right there from that one person. And this is an important distinction. In a lot of companies, if they even have a customer program, they count the heads, the number of people that you have. And you're always looking for new people as opposed to saying, hey, I want to also take care of my customers and help them upgrade. I mean, why not take the FICO Sci every month, right? Once you learn what it does, add it to your subscription. So there are going to be some customers that you have that order just one product a month, but there will be some customers you have that literally will order 10 products a month because they love the benefits they're getting. Well, one customer ordering 10 products a month, you're X team qualified, right? And you get all of these benefits with that. So what happens after that? This is the magic, the beautiful piece, and it's called A team. A team, the letter A. This is what we want to duplicate in depth in the organization forever. It's going to help you create the biggest bonus check you can, because the more people on your team that are A team, the more volume per circle, per partner circle there's going to be. A team does a lot of things. How do we get there? We have to create 25 customer points. That's 25 products sent to your subscribe and save customers. And you have to create a total of 125 personal credit volume. Now, just to clarify, personal means your customers, not your team's customers, or some of your customers may be getting other customers because they want to get their product for free through our Customer Z for Free program. It includes those customers. Okay. And what do you get? So think about this slide, Carla, as the you get slide, right? This is the A team you get reward slide. So number one, you're commission qualified, because if you're A team, that means you're Q team automatically. Now your cash bonus goes from 10% to 20%. So on that $115 test and oil that somebody ordered, you're now going to get over $20 on that just for helping them get started. Your Z for free qualified, so your balance all premiums coming to you free every month. Your ECB qualified, so you're doubling the credits on every new customer subscription, every new partner kit that comes into your team. And now here's the gold. And Carla, you and I didn't understand this when we first looked at Zinzino. But over time, you start to realize this thing called RCB, it's like gold, right? It's printing money. And those of you that are new, you might say, what is RCB? RCB is recurring credit bonus. So recurring credits are all the credits that are coming into your team that are on a subscription after their first month. So the first month, that's the ECB, the enrollment month. But month 2, 3, 4, month 20, month 269, Carla, I don't know what month you're on with Zinzino, but I'm guessing it's 10 times 24. So over 250, 240 months now in a row, right? So
Yep.
your sponsor is getting 240 months in a row of overrides, 10 years of overrides on your personal orders and your customers. So all of those recurring orders double. The credits double on them. So every $4 balance oil is 8. Every $5 premium, every 5 credit balance oil is 10, right? You're doubling all of that. And this is massive because around 18, your business is starting to grow residual customer base. It's going to have a base to it. So in the beginning, you're going to be mostly new enrollments, right? Because you haven't been in long enough to have enough of a base of customers that are ordering now in their second, third, and fourth month. But as your business grows over time, if you look at Brad's business and Carla's business, a number of people on this call, on the Zoom's business, Zoom call, your business is going to be now 30% residual, 70% new enrollments. And then over time, it's going to be 50% recurring orders and 50% new enrollment volume. And then over time, you're going to be 80% recurring volume and 20% new sign up volume in your team. And so over time, you want this big part here to double as well, right? Because that becomes such a big part of your break to zero income. So at A team, you're literally doubling every credit in your organization. So how would you think about this? Well, think about it this way. Would you like to get double the pay for the same amount of work? Would you like to get the same amount of pay for half the work? Right? It's up to you how you want to frame it. And then you look at the compensation plan. And by the way, we're soon going to have the compensation plan in dollars, not just pay points in the United States. So it's even easier to read. I'm letting some of the things that are coming out of the bag. Um, but if there's a rank there that requires 60,000 credits, if you're RCB and ECB qualified, basically if you're 18, it's only 30,000 credits. So now when you're looking through that pay plan document, a lot of those ranks look a lot more delicious and easier to get to because you're able to just take a marker and slash through that 60,000 credit requirement and put 30 because you're going to be 18 qualified. Now, I know I'm spending a lot of time on 18 here, Carla, because it's so important. I want to slow it down just enough so that you go, I'm getting it. Not you, Carla, because I know you already got this, but for anybody else that's watching this or the replays. And then your Z rewards, you get $100 every month in Z rewards, plus $115 every month in commissions on those orders that you have, right? Basically. So at this point, you add all this up, it's probably 18, 15 to 20% on recurring revenue on your existing customers. So some people say, well, how much do I get paid on my existing customers after month one? Well, as you move to X team and A team, you start getting paid a lot on those customers that you already have personally. So what's the qualification for A team? You need 25 customer points and 125 personal credit volume. But here's what's so cool. And sometimes we miss this. So I want to really just put a stamp on this. Is that when you hit, let's say you hit A team the last week of March. So that week, you've got double credits on everything, ECB and RCB, right? Your entire team. And then because you qualified the last week of March, you're fully qualified for A team in all of April. So the whole month of April, you're getting double credits on the new signups through ECB, and you're getting double credits on the existing subscriptions through RCB. But because that's the case, to hit A team again, because you have to hit it every month, is not you hit it once and you're 18 for the rest of your life. You have to qualify for A team in April. So you still have to have your 25 customer points. But because your credits are double, really you only have to generate 62.5 credits out of those customer points. So it's much easier to hit A team again once you've hit it once. Right? It's just much easier. So now, I mean, you could have almost any combination of products, even throw in a couple of Wienersteins in that 25 to hit your 6250 because it'll still look like 125 in your back office. But because all the credits are doubled, it's only going to take 6250 to get there. Now, Carla, I know this is a little bit mathy, so I'm going to go to you as the teacher because that's what was your profession. Is there anything you want to clarify on this step here? Because this is important. This is why so many people want to keep 18, because if you miss it in April, then in May, you got to go get 25 customer points and 125 personal credits again from those 25. So it becomes a little bit harder to hit it again. And then once you hit it, it's easier to hit it from month to month.
Well, I think actually it just makes sense to be doing half the work. It's just exactly half. So it's like, well, and you get paid twice as much. So do you want to get paid 1,000 or do you want to get paid 2,000? It's up to you. But A team is one of those things that whenever I talk to people about what is important, we talk about the four donuts, getting started, understanding, getting started, and then A team. So everybody should always continue to stay A team because that's actually where all the money is.
Yeah, a lot of the money happens at A team. And by the way, now that you've gotten A team, that means you've hit Q team, you've hit X team. And if you do those in your first 120 days of Zinzino, that means you're already qualified for step 1 and step 4 of the Fast Start program, which is amazing. So you're getting all those bonuses as well on top of doing this because it's good for your business.
And just to
And
point
then,
out too,
yeah,
Art,
go ahead, Carla.
is that, everybody wants to have ECB and continue to keep ECB. But if you just follow the Fast Start program, you have ECB at the start no matter what, because everyone that starts in Zinzino, has automatically ECB the first 4 months. And it's beautiful that they put in getting customers, first four, and within the first fourth month to have your 10 customers to stay X team because that's how you keep your ECB. So all of the bonuses are tied together with benefits for partners. It's not just for Zinzino to have the customers, it's for your business, for you to qualify for X team within those 4 months. And you don't need to spend 4 months doing it. You can do it as fast as you want. And many of the partners are getting A team before those 4 months are done because that way they're having ECB and RCB. It just ties together all the bonuses and all the campaigns all tie together to help you grow your business. It's actually a beautiful system.
Yeah, it works very, very well. Thank you, Carla. And again, ultimately, do you want to build a business that you have to constantly rebuild, or that's based on what I would call a vampire network, which is only new partners and we're not getting customers? Or do you want to build a business that Orion and I would define as a true break to zero business that's based on customers? So what you do, your team will do, right? They're going to look to you for the example. Um, and so you want to create a culture within your organization of customers. And you create a culture of customers. And I love the alliteration on that. I'm going to write that down, a culture of customers. I'm a big fan of alliteration. So culture of customers, now you're building that foundation for what it is that you actually want out of Zinzino, which is to be able to work your way out of a job, right? Is to work your way to buy back some of your time, is to work your way to have that time freedom in addition to the money freedom. There are people in the world that make lots of money, but they don't have the time to enjoy it. And here you've got a chance to go get both. But the best shot is building a customer base within your team. A team of 100 partners that focuses on a team versus one that says, no, we're just focusing on partners. The one that focuses on a team, even though it may seem like they're going slow to go fast, will outperform the other one every single time long term. So pro team is the next step. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. You need to get 50 customer points, 250 personal credits. And you're new, you might be thinking, how could I ever get 250 personal credits? Let me tell you what, there's so many people that are pro team that initially thought I could never get there, but they do, and they love it. And pro team qualifications um, basically give you your commission qualified. Your cash bonus goes to 25% instead of 20%. Your product is free, your balance oil premium or your zeal. You're ECB qualified, you're RCB qualified. You get $100 every month from Z Rewards. You get a $230 customer bonus every month. And then you get a one-time bonus, $575 paid over 10 months. It's just awesome. For doing what? For having 50 products sent to your customers. Show me any business in the world, a franchise or a restaurant or anything where they don't have 50 customers, right? It's like if you're an entrepreneur, should be expected to be able to create 50 customers. And it's 50 products shipped to your customers. So it's like imagine a burger joint that doesn't sell 50 products, 50 burgers. It'd be strange. And the beautiful part about Pro Team is because you're ECB, RCB qualified, the next month you can hit Pro Team with those 50 customer points, but only 125 personal credit volume. So your override on your personal customers is very significant, right? Like it's a significant percentage. And then top team, 100 customer points, 500 personal credits. Again, once you hit it, the next month you only need 250 personal credits. So it's actually a lot easier than most people realize. And then you get all the benefits. You're commission qualified. Your cash bonus is now 30%. So if you sign up somebody on a test and an oil, you're going to get over $30 for that. You got your product for free every month, over $65 if you do the premium. Your ECB qualified, those credits are doubled. Your residual credits are doubled. Your Z rewards is $100 every month. You get a customer bonus just on your customers, $460 a month. And then there's an $11,500 one-time bonus that's paid out another $135 over 25 months as long as you're top team qualified. Top team 200, hey, 200 customer points, 1,000 personal credit volume. The following month, you only need 500 personal credit volume because you have ECB and RCB, right, in place. And then here's the beautiful part. You get all those bonuses. Your customer retail bonus goes to $1,150 every month. And if you do it consistently throughout the year, you're going to get to go on the director trip. So you could have been in Thailand just by being on the customer program. Our vision 2025, 1 million customers. 2035, 10 million customers. 2050, 100 million customers. Can Zinzino produce enough balance oil for 100 million customers? If you were at the Diamond Leadership Summit, Orion spent 45 minutes drawing out the 15-year plan on how to get that done. And you'll know that we've already worked on that, right? It's in place. So, Carla, this is why customers. I know we dug deep. It's kind of like a little bit of a master class, but it's such a foundation to your future. It's such a foundation to your income that you're building. So creating a culture of customers, leading the way by saying, hey, I'm going to go A team. I'm going to go pro team. I'm going to go top team. Reaping the benefits from that. People will realize how well this pay plan actually pays. And in that process, you're letting people know, hey, Carla, here's what I learned. Number one, what I learned is imagine this is an omega 6. Now, I found out that it's essential. Your body has to have it. Your body doesn't make it. So you have to get it from a food or a supplement. And then I learned that this, imagine, is an omega 3. It's essential. Your body has to have it. Your body doesn't make it. So you have to get it from a food or a supplement. And the difference between these two is this one creates inflammation in your body. When your body needs inflammation, cut your finger, you start bleeding, you don't have omega 6s, you're in trouble. And the omega 3 fights inflammation, it's anti inflammatory. And here's the thing there's a number. You shouldn't have any more than 3 of these in your body and every cell of your body compared to one of these. And if you're 3 to 1 or better, you're in the omega safe zone. But if you're higher, 10 to 1, 20 to 1, 50 to 1, 150 to 1, 250 to 1, you're going to be in the mega danger zone. And in my opinion, this is one of the biggest health risks that most people face that they're not aware of. And what I did is I took a test called a balance test to find out if I was in the danger zone or not. So for the next 2 weeks and then all of April, ask yourself, how many people can you get in front of and give them the choice after telling this quick story and letting them know, would you like to find out if you're in the danger zone? Are you willing over the next 2 weeks to ask 50 people, would you like to find out if you're in the omega danger zone or not? And if you do that, a lot of them are going to say, yes, I'd like to find out. Then number two, ask them once they find out they're in the danger zone or once they realize that 99% of people are in the danger zone, you can say, Carla, would you like to do something about it? That's it. Just, would you like to do something about it? That's very straightforward. And this is a good place to maybe even share a story. We've got here in Houston, the supermarket called HEB. Here, everything's better. And if you look at everybody's shopping carts, now most people have $100, $200, $300 of stuff in their shopping carts, and they do that several times a month. Out of every $100 that's in that shopping cart, $99, Rael, is committed to omega 6s, the inflammatories. And $1 out of the 100 in that shopping cart is committed to omega 3s, the anti-inflammatories. And this is why we have a problem. This is why people are so far in the danger zone, myself included. I was 20 to 1. So you have to ask yourself, how do I balance this out? How do I balance out my shopping cart? How do I get enough omega 3s in there every trip to the grocery store? I'll tell you how, with $43. Add $43 to your grocery bill. And this one bottle takes care of and balances out your shopping cart. Oh, that's good. Balance out your shopping cart. Carla, write that down. That's a good visual. Balance out your shopping cart with $43. It's an incredible thing. And so let people know you can either eat 10 cans of sardines a day to get into the safe zone, or $43 in your shopping cart takes care of all those imbalances of omega 6s that you're buying every single month. And then the option number three is, Carla, 99% of Americans and Canadians and people around the world are in the danger zone. We need help letting people know about this big problem. Would you like to help us? And if they say yes, invite them to a Zoom, invite them to a meeting, invite them to an overview. And through that process, you will go Q team and X team and A team and double up all those credits. You'll go pro team and then top team, maybe even top team 200 and come to a director trip. And by duplicating that within your organization is going to be solid and stable. And the break the zero part is going to come from the customer base. And then we're going to go to 1 million customers, 10 million customers, 100 million customers. And some of you are going to end up with 1 million customers in your team and absolutely change the trajectory for your financial future and your children's financial future and your children's financial future, most likely. So, Carla, it's a pleasure to be back on your calls. I'm glad that you're doing them again. I'm so excited to see the future calls, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Well, Art, I called you legendary from the start, and there is a reason for that because you just have the history of things. You've worked in the corporate, you've been in the field, and so you know what's important. And these customers, you said that people are working on the A team and the pro team and the top team, but it really is about all the lives changed. And I mean, I had such incredible results in my own family. My son is a different kid. And so that's one reason I have a passion to continue doing this. But that's what I see is we're going to have those stadiums and we're going to fill them with the partners that have made a difference, a legendary lifestyle because of the things that you were teaching exactly today, because we're going to make that impact in the world. So, Art, we all thank you. We thank you for the time that you spend to prepare and plan this and to wrap it up in a way that just makes sense. And we need it right now because we're not going to just double and triple. We're going to 10x this business this year. I'm sure of it. Some places are definitely going to even go more than that. But we're making a difference. We've got so much to share. So now it's just getting out there and letting everybody loose and make sure that you get everybody in your team to understand this. So it's being streamed live to the North American Facebook group. So go on, tag the people in your team. There will be a link in there. So if you want a YouTube link, you can share that with people who are not on Facebook. But we need to get this information out because it's going to help you grow your business. And it's going to make a lot of impact for a lot of people's lives. So I'm actually going to allow everybody to unmute and everybody can say thank you to Art. Art, thank you for your time here. We're looking forward to being
Thank,
again next
Thank
week.
thank you,
you.
Bye,
everybody. Thanks for
Carla.
being
Bye,
here.
You.
Saludos.
Love it. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you. Thanks for
Bendiciones.
helping us
Thank
reach
you,
some
Bye.
Art. This
people.
is great.
Bendiciones.
Thanks, Art. Great
Thank
job,
you,
buddy.
Jess.
Nice to see you. Bye, you guys.
See you all
Love
next
you.
week.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye from
Bye now.
California.
Awesome.
See you next week, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.